people, my name is Mohini Dey, and you're watching a brand new talk show, What a Melophile Wants. I think music is healing. It's an explosive mirror of humanity. It's something we're all touched by, no matter what culture we're from. Today, I have someone who is the perfect example of diverse culture blends. He is someone who is a dear friend of mine and a virtuoso keyboard player, pianist, composer, director, arranger, and singer. He's someone that I know and have worked with for the past 8 years. I think even more. I'm not sure about that. But anyways, he has worked with some of the exceptional artists such as A.R. Rahman, Ustad Zakir Hussain, Sivamani, Yushinivas, London Symphony Orchestra, El Subramaniam, and many, many more. It's really impossible to describe and lay down his wide range of achievements. And so I thought it is only right to feature him and have him on my show and know all about him. It brings me immense pleasure to welcome the one and only Stephen Devassy. Welcome, Stephen. I'm so happy to have you. It's an honor to have you, and it's always fun talking to you. So I thought, why not have you and feature and let my listeners know all about you?
Hi, Mohini. Love that applause. Suddenly I felt that I'm on the stage.
Yes, something that we're all missing. So I thought, let's initiate that.
For that wonderful sound effect. Thank you
Firstly, how
so
are you? It's been a long time since we have spoken also. So firstly, how
very much.
are you?
I am good at home. Sometime I go to my studio as I was traveling. I'm actually at 14 days quarantine, which is going to be finished tomorrow.
Awesome.
So now it's Indian rule that we have to be in 14 days of quarantine if you
Correct.
travel from a state.
That's
So
right.
I was in town. I just went to visit my parents and I came back. And
Mhm.
right now I'm at so
Awesome. That's good to know. Is it a little bit surreal that I'm going to be interviewing you like you're getting interviewed by me?
was
It's a
going
little
through the
surreal.
kind of situation where you asking me how are you and asking my whereabouts. Chill. Actually, we asked because our family wise we know each other very well personally. So
Right,
so that
right, right.
now it's became formal. So I'm also like kind of okay.
Yeah. I think we know everything about each other, but I wanna let my listeners know something that they don't know about you. So I have written down some questions, some fun questions that you will love, hopefully, and we'll have a great time just having this beautiful conversation. So, in the start, I spoke about music, how it can mean so many different things to so many different people. For me, it's an outburst of my soul. I always try to be as lyrical as possible and as expressive as possible from my end when I am expressing through my music, which is my voice, which is the only language I know. So I want to know, what is music to you, and how much weight does it hold in your life? Give us a little insight on how music happened to you.
Music. That's the only thing which I know for time being when I started my life with music around
Yeah.
the age of 10 or 11. Basically, I was not into music. I was not a musician. I don't want to become a musician because I never been into a music circle. Because my dad is an AC mechanic and he was in Dubai, where we have no idea about what a musician's
So
life
none
is,
of
a
your
profession.
family members were musicians.
So I don't know why I took music and where to go, whom to contact. There was a period that I had a couple of moments that I should take this serious, and in that moment, my parents also got a little worried because this boy, we don't know what he's going to do because
Right,
so there is so much of interest is there in this boy, but where to go, whom to meet, and what
right,
to do.
right.
There was a lot of came to their point, and where I became a dropout in my plus two, where
Oh,
I I wanted to take music because music
dangerous.
started, I started indulging music into me so much where
Right,
I don't know what is the purpose. Maybe because I believe everyone believes in God, so I believe that it was a God's plan that He was slowly injecting me this kind of interest. So whether I'm talented or not, whether I'm skillful or not, I decided I want to take music. So
that's beautiful. So when was the
Yes.
time like you decided that you want to do music like, I wouldn't say professionally because at this point what you're talking about in this circumstance, it's too early to know if you want to do this professionally, right? You just loved music and you wanted to do this full time, right? But when was the time when you knew that this is all I want to do in my life?
Yeah, so when I was 17 years, I went to a music school. Till then, I was learning church organ. I was like learning the proper organ,
Who did
not
you
the
learn from? Did you go to music school or?
next to my house where I travel around half an hour by road. If you reach there, if you reach, you have to walk a little. So he is a very well-known teacher in small town.
Okay.
So he's very strict. So in that case, my dad decided to put me there, me and my brother, as he started learning violin and I
Oh,
started
wow.
my keyboard. Yeah. So we both go classes. We have a couple of friends that we travel together because
Mm.
walking we have to around half an hour. So half an hour in bus, half an hour by walking. So it
Mm.
was actually fun till we reached the school, his house. After that, it is very strict. He is very, and that's how the Indian way of study that you get scolding, or you get
Right.
beatings.
Uh-huh.
I got enough scolding, because some lazy bums like me, someone has to scold. So that's just life started. So age of 16, he said, it's time to go. You need to go out and start learning something different. You have to
Right.
learn some piano because I feel there is some talent in you where you have to bring it out. So
Right.
I went to piano school. Where I went to the piano school, I figured out this is my life because there was something. Whenever I listened to some songs like Eric Clapton or Mozart, I had a couple of CDs which
Mm.
I don't know who did this. Uh, what is the work behind? Because I didn't have internet there. I didn't have
Right.
any connection for the outside world. But
Right.
whenever I listened to this music, I figured out there is so much other than what I'm seeing
Right.
because I'm seeing my home is inside in a property of trees, and I have a school, I have a church, I have a hospital. This is the surrounding which I am living for till my age of 16, where in 5 kilometer radius only I travel because I never
Right.
travel because I'm from a small town.
Right.
So when I hear this music, I figure out there is so much that happening outside my world.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? I had this my I wanted to explore more.
Right.
So in that case, I went to this school. I saw like books of music, lot of books, lot of CDs, at
Yeah.
least 12 upright pianos in different cabins that you can
Wow.
practice. And I figured this is what I want. This is what I'm looking for. Where I saw
Mm.
this,
Mm.
that going to stop my studies where I'm with my music. He said, no, you can't do that. You have to at least, take a
Get a
degree.
degree. Yeah.
So this is this is something very interesting in South. I don't know what about in your place. In
Same,
South
same.
India,
Like, I mean, every parent is like scared a little bit that if it's going to work out or not. And then if it doesn't work out, then you won't have a job and you won't be able to survive. Because at the end of the day, money has to come to survive.
Mohini, there is another story also. For boys,
Okay.
for boys, you need to have at least a degree to get a good girl. You know about that?
Yeah, that also in India. Yeah, that also. Yeah, for
Yes.
girls, it's
So
like you need to get a degree so that if anybody kicks you out of his life, then you can work and get paid and do have an independent life.
second, don't worry.
Yeah. I guess
Otherwise,
it's just a misconception. Yeah.
so in this case, my all my relatives or my cousins started saying, "You won't get a good girl from a good family if you don't have this." I said, "Check out. I don't need it. I continue my music." I strictly decided to go with music where I have no idea, where even I didn't have a cell phone, I didn't have any connections, I don't have anyone. But when I took this decision, slowly things
But tell me
started
one
coming.
thing, like out of all the instruments, why piano?
Yeah, that's another good question you asked me. So
Yeah.
piano was instrument which I didn't like it. I didn't ever like the piano.
So
I
how?
loved drum. I
Oh
love
wow.
drum.
Yeah, me
I
too.
want
Me too. I wish somebody taught me to play drums.
Yeah. So what I do is if I go out of my home, there is small, we have gardens, couple of, so I take two sticks from the plants. So after that, I started banging everywhere. I took the plates, I took all those things and start playing.
I
Where
can tell because I can hear the drumming on in when you're playing piano as well. So
there is little,
yeah, of course, that influence is there. Yeah.
so I then I told my mom I wanted to learn drums. Then my mom said, "Where do I go? I don't know anyone because see, we have in a short, small world that we are living inside. Just
Yeah.
at a church and at
Yeah.
school and middle of the relatives where my
Hmm.
mom didn't know because my dad was in Gulf, where she said, and someone said that there is a drum teacher 2.5 hours away from my home, where my
Okay.
mom said there is no one to take you there. I can't go alone with you. We can't go together like that. So you have to wait.
Hmm.
And I stop my dream in that. I stop having that. Still I have my dream. So whenever I go to sound check, my first attraction is towards the drums. I see that. I watch it, and there is a gap. I go in. I just try little.
Oh
This is what
yeah.
I do
I've never seen you do that when we played together.
because we play. I get to see only the great drummers, which I'm scared to go there. Where is my
Every time we
I
have played
go
together, there is somebody who is big. Yeah.
someone is huge. So yeah, sometimes Siva asks me to come there, and I just try something there. But that his kit is completely a percussive
Yeah.
section.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
otherwise, band is doing the sound check, and after that, I go to the drummer and say, "Can I play little?" I ask my drummer. I said, "Okay, go ahead." So I do that. So it's a couple of things, all funny things I do.
Crazy,
so
crazy. So
so from that moment, I decided slowly. Someone started calling me. Someone really interested me. So every day, someone. Every day means some. If I go to some concert, someone see
so
me
you
playing.
bought your first piano, or your parents bought your first piano, or a keyboard? I
No,
don't know.
yeah, keyboard. I didn't have a piano till 2 years back. Only I bought my first piano. So
Yeah.
till that I had only keyboards. So I slowly I started playing with lot of there. Then they hired me. Some people, other people started hiring me, and after that I got a call from Mr. Padmashri Hariharan, where
Mm,
he wanted a piano. So that's how I came to the entire a different world of music, where it came to Bombay. In between,
right.
I had an AR office, and I
Yeah.
started performing. So
Yeah.
every every day someone calls me, some miracle happens. So I
Yeah.
want to just say that to any common people who are interested, talented and committed, don't
Yeah.
worry. I'm the
Mm.
one example person.
Yes, absolutely. That's why I got you on the show, because I feel like your story is so influential and it's going to inspire so many other people, because you have taken your own stand and did your own world, led your own life. I want to know what was the first big thing that happened to you in your musical growth when you were starting to become this professional player. What was the first big thing according to you that happened to you, which let you, like, which made you open other doors for you? Everybody has that one big thing.
Yes. So the first one is that first opportunity which I got to play with Padma Shri Hariharan,
Yeah.
where he was for a piano player, where he wanted to do some unplugged. So
Mm,
someone heard, one of my friend from nearby town, that he came and met me, and he saw me and he said, "Can you play something?" When I was at home, I
mm,
played something. I did some sonatas, where I was playing some sonatas and small concert pieces.
hmm.
Are you interested to work with a couple of good artists? And I said, I am looking forward, but I don't know whom to contact. I don't have anyone. I don't have a grant. You need to have to someone who would lift your hands and
Yeah.
take you. So he said there is a rehearsal going on 2 months after. I will call you. So I went to the rehearsal hall. I took my keyboard. I was waiting outside, and there was a banquet hall where a lot of people were inside, and because I could hear a lot of music from there.
Hmm.
And after there was a lunch break, everyone came out, and this guy said, "Bring your keyboard in and set it up." So it was actually merely dark. There was not much light because I was sitting outside. So I can see that there was an image sitting there, one person sitting there in the corner of the room, and I was setting up, and that person just walked in. I said, I have seen this face somewhere. So that time, the Colonial Cousins was a big hit. So it
Yes.
was
Yeah.
Hariharan. Stopped, and he sat next to me, and he said, and this person said, "Can you play something?" And I played something, and after that, he said, "Okay." Hariji said that, "Can you give an accompaniment for what I'm going to sing?"
Hmm.
So he started singing Uire, Tuhire,
Hmm.
and I played a piano on it, and he said, then the first thing that he's asked, "Do you have a passport?" I said, "I don't have a passport." Okay. Once you get a passport, you let me know. So I went back home. I told my mom that I need a passport because he's asking me. So we went to another, a little far because we don't have a passport system in our district. I go to
Right.
another district,
Right.
and I got the passport, and I called him. And the first thing that he said, "Okay, you are traveling with me to France and Germany." I
Hmm.
said, "Really? Okay." Because I never seen a flight. I never seen anything other than my small town. I was so
Right.
excited. I got
Hmm.
my first to Kuwait because it was in Kuwait. First flight was to Bombay, and it was a domestic flight from here. We traveled to Kuwait, and from there, I saw big buildings. First time I saw the grand piano, and I would never forget. This is my first takeoff in that sense. This is the first incident, and the second incident. What happened is, by chance, I was doing my piano classes. Uh, I had a I failed in my second seventh grade of
Okay.
piano
Oh, okay.
because I was kind of at that time I was, this is my age of
This is when you were
17
studying with Trinity.
Trinity College, where
Yeah.
I failed in my grade because I was in a situation where I have to decide whether I want to go with my academic studies or my piano studies, where I
Right.
had a tough
Right.
time, where I failed, where I thought this is the end of everything in my life because
Right.
music is the only thing I wanted to do, and
Yeah.
now the situation. So my teacher of piano, I was sitting in my room and I was crying the whole evening, and at the late night, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock, once he was going from the school, he came to my room and said, "Now you take a decision. Either you want to do music or you wanted to continue." Then I decided, no, I'm going to take music. Then he
Beautiful.
said, then you take challenge for the next grade. So he put me for the eighth grade of piano in Trinity College. And I
Hmm.
worked for around 6 to 8 months where I had a couple of good time to prepare. And I did my examination, and that God's grace, but just God, because of the God's grace, I got 93%, which I was the highest in Asia. From there,
Awesome. That's amazing.
yeah. So that maybe that decision might be uh, uh, done. Maybe I had to forcefully. Someone has forced me to say that I had to take music just because of God's
No,
purpose
it
that
was
I
your
did.
own push and own dedication and hunger. That's why you
Yeah.
got where you are.
Then I
Yeah.
didn't able to back much. Where every step which I take, I do my best. Every simple concert,
Yeah.
small concert, I do my best. And someone asks my number. Can I get your number? We want to call for you for something else. So I
Yeah.
get there. I go, and every day my life is like this. Every day is a miracle. That's what I can say.
And for my listeners out there, I must mention this because, now you guys are getting to hear his side of his story. But from whatever I've seen, I think he's one of the most hardworking people that I have worked with. And I've never seen a person giving everything a 200% in every project that he's working in. So he's one of the most professional and hardworking people that I've met so far.
Thank, thank you.
Yeah.
We had some. Oh, suddenly when you're saying that, I was thinking about our rehearsals and our funny
Yes.
moments.
Yes, I will come to that towards the end of this interview. But speaking of, your evolvement and development and this transformative growth that you have had throughout over the years, I want you to tell my listeners. Firstly, I love your sound. I love your time. You have a great, great time, and that's very rare with keyboard players. Mostly it's the bass players and drummers and all the percussionists who have great time, but keyboard is very rare to find have a great solid time as well as a great sound. So who were your major influences that helped you have this beautiful sound, and this understanding of what works where and this time that you have?
So there are a couple of there were a couple of people who really inspired me. Uh,
Yeah,
in
your major
spite of
influence. Yeah.
Yeah, in spite of I'm doing my classical piano sessions where
Yeah.
I was following my biggest admiration towards Mozart, where his lifestyle, because
Yeah.
in classical music, more than we learn the songs, we have to learn about the song, how what is the incident of what is the situation of the composer who composed it, and
Absolutely.
his
Yeah.
feelings and everything. So I was completely had a great admiration with Mozart, where he's one of my
Hmm.
biggest inspiration for music. And then I got into Frederick Chopin, where he is one of the most amazing musician which I have heard, and his
Hmm.
songs is with a lot of complexity. There is with the complexity performance, there is a simplicity in his tune. So
Right.
I loved his works. Then slowly I came into the contemporary music world by listening to a couple of great musicians by Eric Clapton and little of Beatles and a couple of rock musicians where I started playing in the college bands where a couple of rock music really inspired. In between, I was following a couple of musicians like DY and yeah, as a pianist, one of the most, celebrated pianist or a composer called Yanni, where he
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
this one where he keeps a lot of piano. That's all made me fascinated. All these
Hmm.
things. Another keyboard player called Michael W. Smith is more into gospel music, where I was so attracted in him because his way of approaching music with different voicings and those really inspired me.
Yeah.
And when it comes to movie songs, that time, when I was in the school, I was in the seventh grade and eighth grade. Rahman started, started pumping up with his great music,
Hmm.
and that inspired me. And a couple of, as per the solo musician in me came out through listening to Joe Satriani and Steve Vai, because
Wow.
they had that
Interesting.
aura coming, because once one guitar player can bring so much of aura towards the audience, where
Yeah.
they had space, they had so much fun. Even they were playing, it never showed they were completely into it. Where that really got really into
Yeah.
me. I started getting their CDs. I started collecting. That time the video CD and the DVDs are popular when I was in
Hmm.
college.
Hmm.
I tried to get. I spoke to my musicians friends. I said, "Can I get this?" Because internet was not there much.
Right. Right.
So, uh, so these kind of things really pulled me to do solos. Where then I heard John Lord, where I changed my completely understanding of keyboard really changed.
Yeah, I
You
can
know,
hear everything because you have a perfect proportion of the Western world as well as the Carnatic world as well as the fusion and classical. So everything's there, and I can hear it every time I play with you.
so sound wise, maybe all these great keyboard players really put my sound where there is more sound other than piano. There is more sound other than words or
Yeah.
factor chords, or there is more sound like synthesizers,
Yes.
workstations, and modelers. That really helped me by listening to all these international composers and performers.
Correct.
And guitar is one other instrument that put me into a different scenario where you are a musician, that your music is stationary, your instrument is
Yeah.
stationary,
Yeah.
where someone gifted me this guitar and said, try this instrument because you can walk around and
Move
play.
around. Yeah.
Yeah, move around, play. And that really changed my
Outlook.
level of purpose. Yeah.
Yeah.
So so that me really inspiration would I can say that finding my own sound for the lead guitar sound was
Yeah.
Steve Vai and Joe, because they had
Right.
that, when they play that, there is a mono sound that they produce actually. Even they are
Right.
doing guitar, but the mono
Hmm.
sound that comes. So I started using mono leads, which that put me. So these are a couple of people really inspired me
Right.
as a musician.
That's beautiful. Now, a lot of people have different kinds of struggles. Everybody has them. I had one, probably many. I want to know what was your biggest challenge in your, professional upbringing.
So professional and upbringing, there every time, as a musician, how we face the challenges. So
Hmm.
my biggest challenge was coming from a gospel music background, playing in the church. After that, coming to the folk arts culture, and after that, from church to folk arts was very easy for me.
Hmm.
For folk arts to classical piano, it was very easy because they were in the
Hmm.
same culture actually.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
after that, coming to the contemporary music was very tough for me actually.
Right.
Coming adapt the Western classic towards the Indian music, the core wise, and a couple of other jazz, kind of little of the other genres. Like, it was really challenging for me, where
Yeah.
I had to really sit and work for hours. So each
Right.
core by, because because the way we developed our music culture was into a different
Yeah.
harmony
It's
and
a
melody.
different. Yeah. It's a
Yeah,
different journey. Yeah.
based in more, when it's rhythmic actually, more a lot of rhythm,
Absolutely. Yeah.
where
Totally.
that combination of both of that genres really put me into
Yeah.
little of challenge. So
Right.
what did, I took this challenging as my strength, where whenever I'm getting a concert to perform with a Carnatic musician, I took it
Hmm.
as positive, took it as a strength, that I started learning those songs
Right.
thoroughly, make sure that I am going to go with him. At least, I can just
Yeah.
go with him.
Yeah.
That for challenging. So what I did is, all my fear and my challenges, I put it at my strength. So my
Right.
strength was,
That's
if it is
beautiful.
going to be a very simple concert, there is nothing challenging. There is nothing. Otherwise, if I get a like a full horn section, if I get a full string section, that
Hmm.
is really challenging. I have to take those challenges. That's
Yes.
how I developed. Every time problem comes, I said, yes, I'm going to learn something from this. So
That's great.
if
That's
you have
great.
a problem, don't worry, it is a lesson for you. Do it. That's how I
Absolutely.
developed.
That's beautiful. That's great. Um, are you that kind of person who likes to? Now, I know the answer of this, but are you that kind of person who likes to warm up and practice until an hour before the show, before like getting up on the stage? Or are you that kind of person who does not like to play at all after sound check and just go on stage and, rock it?
If I get an opportunity to warm up, nothing like it. I love to warm up. I wish I was a flautist or a guitar player like you, where you can take your guitar, go to the backstage, and warm up. The
Yeah.
problem is, if you are using a 88 keys, which is weighted keys, you need to
Hmm.
warm up in an 88 keys. So
Yeah.
I don't think that in concert they will have a
It's
weighted
not
keys on.
same playing on
Yeah.
the mini keyboards.
No, you won't get the right feel
Yeah.
unless you are some solos, that you prepare that solos in a guitar, where you can take the guitar back to stage
Right.
and on the backstage. Otherwise, I love to warm up, or else I will tell you, in my musical career or performance career, I got only warm up only 20%. Rest 80% is completely just go on stage and play. But
Right.
I'm used to a situation that you have nothing to do, you have nothing to warm up, you just go play the first song, which is going to be very complicated, but somehow you make
Yeah.
it. You get used to
Correct.
all
Correct.
those difficult.
Yeah. Like
So
if this was me, like probably 4 years ago, then I would be the one who would be practicing from morning till night. Like you know me, even in the green room, constantly warming up and not stopping to play until I get up on stage. And then like past 3, 4 years, I'm like, no, I don't want to play the bass until I get up on stage, because it allows me to get out of that subconscious nature of planning things. I feel like those are the best nights when you don't have any idea. You just know all the parts and the forms and everything. And when it's your turn, you just have a beautiful conversation, because all these years of foundation kind of puts you to work on stage at the right time. Otherwise, what foundation? That means you're practicing wrong. you know I want to know how much of your playing, especially solos, is completely improvised over, say, chops and patterns that you have created or worked out before. And if it's both, then how do you keep that balance? Because sometimes we're in situations, say, for example, I was playing with a Japanese band last year, and that kind of didn't allow me. And we are Indians, like we are all about on the spot. People call you, and you're in this like setup where you don't have any idea of what you're going to play with the musicians. There have been so many times we just come on stage and we start having conversations without having any knowledge of what songs we're going to play or what korbai you're going to play. Sometimes you just hear and then you react, right? And whereas with a lot of different kinds of setups, like for example the Japanese band that I mentioned last year, they are very, very scripted, and they like every show to be exactly the same. They don't want any kind of new things coming up every night. So I want to know, like, have you been in this kind of situations where people want you to play exactly the same, and then there are these setups where you have this freedom of doing whatever you like? What is your favorite, and how is it like for you?
So, as I'm being a professional, see, we have to adapt everything what they're
Yeah,
looking for.
yeah, good point.
You're doing when you went to the Japanese band, you have to play the exact thing what you have done
Yeah,
for rehearsal.
yeah.
So where I I also get into the situation that you can't play anything where you have to get
Yeah,
used after
like
10
there are
con.
these evergreen solos and evergreen melodies that you cannot change.
Yeah. Yeah. So working with AR, that's what the same thing where you play the exact thing where he knows if sometimes the count goes, you have to play at the right time. The note has
Yeah,
to become otherwise you
yeah,
miss this. You go and click,
yeah,
and if LED complete the visual, everything is synced, and you can't mess up
yeah.
actually.
Hmm.
So there are like we have to adapt the situation. You know.
Right, absolutely.
Otherwise, my other stream there where 60% is fixed, and there is that 40% that comes just like whatever you're
Yeah,
going to do
you
that.
can't help that. That's just, I guess, our foundation. Like, we are so, I guess that's our speciality. Like, whatever
Yes,
happens, we know how to manage and handle the situation. No matter anybody loses or if we forget something, we're still going to make a beautiful statement.
you're right. In
Yeah.
certain concerts, you're also experience that we don't know what we are going from the first note. We have no idea
Yeah,
what we are
no
playing.
idea.
And
Sometimes those are
it's
the best nights, and sometimes they're okay nights, but it's okay. That's the fun of it. Yeah.
the your day goes. We decide, okay, this is my day, and it was not my day because I didn't get much things to
Yeah.
play.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
Indian concert and like that where 0% preparation, all
Yeah.
those happen sometime. We at least know that what we're going to perform, and when you go to stage, nothing works in that. Everything goes
Correct.
ulta.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Get,
Did,
get,
did you have any goals or like dreams as a kid growing up?
yes, I had dreams to meet couple of peoples where I used to admire, that I wanted to do. I wanted to do concerts with them, and couple of dreams really worked, and couple of things happened which I never dreamed of. So
Yeah.
that couple of people, working with Zakiruz, and I never thought that I'm going to work with him. I
Right.
never ever, because he is into a different level of music where I
Yeah.
was where my circle is something completely different with the people which I but
Right.
all the God, you reach a couple of points that you never imagined or dreamed that you
Yeah.
get it. So otherwise, I
Correct.
have more lot to achieve, which still on the process.
Well, all the best for that, and I know you're gonna nail it because you're amazing. Everybody wants to know how you decide. This is taken. This question is taken from some of your YouTube videos, by the way. How do you decide your show flow, and what's the first that comes before even deciding that? Give us a little behind the scenes.
So behind the scenes, see, for me, uh, more than I need to prove that what I am really, I really look into the people which what they're looking from me.
Hmm.
So we play some very complex stuff and very hard stuff. People will just like, okay, thank you.
Hmm.
So what
We didn't
what
understand anything, but yeah.
yeah. So sometimes you play some simple stuff, they respond very well, because
Right.
sometimes, because we almost 70% of concert that we does in India. So
Yeah.
sometimes something which we connect with them. Maybe it's going to be a film song, or if it's a folk song, or if it is a very simple tune where people know that, understand that tune, they connect very fast actually. So
Yeah, and
uh,
also like I feel like with different organizers it varies.
very,
Because some organizer they want specific musicians, and then say probably if an organizer contacts you, then you have the power to call whoever you want. But if the organizer has specific musicians in the head, then you guys will have to kind of get in touch with all the musicians that they want. So I feel like the comment which was on the YouTube channel, he or she means they want to know like how is the show done? Like even before a show is done, what is the process like?
okay. So we rehearse, we plan. Depends upon the musician. They we just discuss what we gonna show to them, what we
Hmm.
gonna just give to them, or what we have
Yeah,
something from us,
yeah,
and what they wanted from us.
yeah.
So I connect these two things where I make sure that I am satisfied as a musician,
Right.
and as a musician, as a professional musician, I make them satisfied with whatever they wanted from me.
Yeah, and
Maybe
sometimes
so.
there are situations where it's like the organizer wants a musician that we probably might not even know, and then we need to have a conversation with that person or
Yes,
that
yes,
artist, and that is kind of tricky because if you don't know if you can have a conversation like we're having a conversation and it's smooth and we're able to have this conversation because we know we work together and we have a different kind of chemistry, whereas when you've never met a person, how are you going to start off? And same with music,
right.
sometimes on stage we don't know, but once we start making music which we are good at, that's the only language we know. It just, I guess, it just flows like a river.
Yes, it happens. So some organizers, they just when they're calling our manager or something, they said, make sure there is no singer in the concert. Okay, we don't want any
For
singing.
a change.
Yeah, for a change. And once we go there, and in between they come said, is there any song is going to happen? I said, no. There is no.
Those were songs,
Oh.
duh.
And maybe they change their mind in between.
Yeah.
So we get stuck. We have still we managed to do something with funny. I just sing some songs which I said, okay, at least we sang, at least because at last they are client. They
Right,
might ask something.
right.
Some concert. I still remember me and our late Padma Shri U Srinivas sir, and two other musicians. Viku Vinagaram sir was there. So
Hmm.
and they said. They want very peace, no talk, and not much of sound we should make. And we started playing slow, and then we can say when because of seeing these legends, the all audience comes there,
Yeah.
and after that full concert is going to take off. This is after I'm saying after 90 minutes of performance of calm music where nothing is there, then the
Whoa.
whole bunch of around 600, 700 people, then you will say that okay, we can play hard. Then it comes
Yeah.
so they will say,
Yeah, it's
what.
very important, like you said, adapting to the environment, wherever we are, whichever part of the world we are in, whatever kind of energy is being fed on to us, we kind of
Yeah,
understand that energy and vibrations and we feed our energy to them.
yes, we release it strongly. Yes,
Yeah.
that's how it works.
Yeah. We're towards the end of our interview. Just last two questions. In my earlier episodes, I've spoken about like evolvement, development of all sorts, transformative individuality. But everybody's journey is so different. I want to know, how did you evolve as a person? And was it the same growing up to be a musician? Or were there two different paths that you had to go through as a kid to find this one route which made you have a marriage between you as a person and your music?
So, see, as I said, it was there was difficult times for me to decide a couple of things, how to
Yeah.
manage, how to take it forward. Where
Mm.
there was another energy that really helping me behind for a
Yeah.
couple of things. Where a situation comes where whether to choose this or this, where I have
Yeah.
no idea what will be the end of this turn, what will be end of this turn. So
Yeah.
sometimes we feel that it is going to have getting messy. So somewhere we just come out of it, and
But see, like when you're on stage, you have all this swag and charisma, right? And you're a true performer. Were you always like this as a kid? Because sometimes people get this culture shock that say, like, I was an introvert, as a kid growing up. And then when I started performing on stage, I started getting to know that I have this other side to me, which is very fierce and very powerful. And I found my strength in that. And I wanted to be that person in real life. So did you have that kind of situation, or were
I,
you the same person always?
I was a complete shy boy at my home. So my there is to come some guest comes to my home. So once I know that from the gate that someone is coming means I just run to my room or else
Hmm.
to kitchen there, because I don't want to.
Oh God, that crazy.
My dad is, yeah, he will call every one of us. My mom will go for sure. We have to give some tea or something to eat. My mom will go, and
Yeah.
at the last, before they go, my dad screams to come and meet them. In that case, me and my brother will go slowly and move the curtain and see there. That's kind of a
Crazy.
person. Once they
Oh,
everyone, then we are happy. We are the same people who being naughty or whatever at home. So
yeah.
that kind of a lifestyle, I can't imagine how I became like this. So slowly,
Was it an
when
unconscious decision? It was an unconscious
it
decision.
was, because I never wanted to do something which I really make people happy, or getting upload. I never thought that I'm a guy like that.
Right.
I wanted to do music, and I don't know where this music is taking me actually. So
Right.
slowly, I got this opportunity. Then I figured out this is how it works. You play, you get applause, and you have to be that
So
entertainer.
that kind of pushed
Yes,
you and drove
yes.
you. Yeah.
Then slowly I developed that performer. Some that, yeah. And as you said, that there was another side of me where
Yeah.
you become a different person when it comes to
Yeah.
concert.
Yeah.
That I realized it later actually. Then I started working on that, how to improve that power, how to bring that aura in. So
Right.
sometimes say that there is some positiveness when I do some concert where I don't know how I did happen. Maybe because of my practice of praying or meditation on practice, and that's
Yeah.
how I
it's
developed
it's
the
it's like
culture.
a meditative state, and when you start, it's like prayers. Like when you keep doing it, you start finding this space and core which has so much, which holds so much power, and kind of it just comes onto you, and then you start feeling that energy and becoming that energy.
You're right. So
Yeah.
that's how. Oh, we know that how it happens. You go to stage, or if before
Yeah.
that, to release it. How to bring that people up. You know.
Yeah.
Got right.
Okay, last question. When did we start working together?
Oh, that was. I seen you where you were this much, when you're this much in my. Uh,
I was about
guitar
probably
is
15,
all,
I guess, when I started working with you.
you're like this. The guitar was like this, so you can.
Oh God.
I was like, wow, this is
Quite.
called
But
God's.
Stephen, if
Uh,
you actually count, when I started working together with you, I was probably 15 or 16. I'm
yes, yeah,
24 now, so it's been like almost 10 years.
10 years. I can't believe it.
Can't believe it, right? Like I was writing the intro and I was just trying to understand how time just flew.
So I figured, there was so charisma that you have it, and I was so happy. More than happiness, I was so proud That's the right
Uh,
word I can. I am so happy. Whenever I see the posters or I get some forwards, I say that okay, she's my girl. I know her very well,
yeah,
and I'm so proud of that.
correct.
Wow. And the first picture I saw yours were your dad show me when I was 16. I used to play with your dad,
Right,
and he used to say that my daughter, with a small baby, you have the big guitar on your lap, and there
right,
was
right.
picture. Wow, what he's mad or what? I used to think that,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
got it now.
yeah. See, miracles. But like
Miracle.
you, even I was never into music at first. Like I never wanted to be a musician. And this, I always wanted to be a fashion designer, you know.
That
And
the
then
way
like around, sorry.
the way you look, you know that it is all your dress is designed by
Yeah,
you.
yeah, absolutely. Like I always had that in me, and I wanted to continue that even with music on the side. That's why I'm
Wow.
coming out with my merchandise for people who don't know. Now I'm coming out with my own like clothing line and stuff. So watch out for that. Okay, now we're gonna play this little rapid fire round. Very fun. It has to be like this quick, quick. Okay.
Oh,
Okay. First question. What's something that annoys you the most?
the ringing sound on the stage.
Oh, that is true. I've seen your face whenever that happens. Oh my god. You're like, tell my listeners something that the whole world don't know about you.
Me,
Yeah.
I never like to eat curd, and I hate bananas.
That is hilarious. Oh my god. If you could switch to any other profession, what would it be? Can't be related to music.
I would be a chef then.
Chef. Nice.
Yeah.
Describe yourself in 4 words.
Uh, Forwards. Oh, that's too short, Mohini.
You have too many qualities and talents.
I am boy. No, it won't fit.
No, it has to be
Okay,
adjectives.
okay. I feel I'm a miracle.
You're a miracle, and
Yes, and
you're very professional, and you're a
okay.
true performer, and you're very generous.
Okay, maybe that way. I want to be
Yeah.
simple
You're
always.
very helpful. Yeah, very down to earth. So many qualities. See? Okay.
Thank
Last
from
one.
someone.
Okay, this is the last one. What is the worst compliment you have received so far?
uh, Worst compliment.
Yeah.
Worst compliment. Still, I get to say that. Will you marry me? So,
That is not a compliment. That is a question.
okay, that's not a compliment. Hey, that is a
No.
compliment.
No. Okay, maybe you'd like to take it as a compliment.
Okay, worst compliment
Like I'll
is.
give you an example. Like I did a show and then like somebody told me you're too good for a girl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like, you want a punch in the face? I'm good at that.
So more like one worst compliment is one example. I will tell you then in that sample way.
Yeah.
So I had a couple of calls from the great directors, like
Uh-huh.
in my south. They call me. So one of the greatest like film director called Blessy. He has won like 4 or 5 national awards, and so one day he called me in my phone
Hey,
and I
don't
said,
take
"This is
names, huh? Don't take names,
okay,
then you'll get killed.
okay, okay."
Yeah, I'll chuck
He
that out. I'll edit that out.
knows it. He knows it.
It's
He
fine.
have no problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he called me and said, I was so happy to pick his phone, and I said, "Sir, I'm a big fan of you." Okay, yeah, there is a movie coming up, um, and I said, "Wow, I'm doing music for this great music director." And I said, "Okay, sir, sir, I'm ready." Okay, and I asked him, "Sir, how many songs are there?" No, no, it's not a song. You have to do a small acting in it. Music is already done. That's not.
Oh God.
So that I didn't take work, but I was so hoping that he called me for
But would
music,
you
but
ever do acting if it was a good role?
no,
No,
I won't
never.
do it. No,
Really?
first of all, that I have to. My mom will be my biggest enemy, and now that not my mom, my wife is also biggest enemy if I do that.
No, but like if it's related to music, then maybe yeah. Like if it's your
Then,
own documentary or something like that.
in that case, yeah, but I don't think I'm
But
an
you
actor.
would have to give the details to your people then.
Then I had a very bad situation to do an ad film where I had a very tough time after that to convince my wife was very tough. Where I had
That is hilarious. That is amazing. Oh my god.
not like
Well, thank you so much, Stephen, for being on my show. It was a big, big honor, and I hope you had fun.
I was having truly complete fun because I was not having an interview with you. I was just talking like when we have our
Yeah,
backstage
yeah,
fun.
absolutely. That's what I want. Yeah.
You in that because I want you to come. We want to perform more. I would love to perform. The
Absolutely.
last
It's been a
had,
while since we have performed. We need to
yeah.
play
So
together.
yeah. So suddenly I was remembering all our great past that we had
Yes,
fun on
yes,
stage and
yeah.
having food. I know food habits. I know. Even I want
Oh
to do an interview
my,
like that.
that could be a whole interview.
So suddenly I was missing all those moments. So I'm looking forward, Mohini, to perform. We should perform together more. Okay.
Absolutely. More to come. Thank you so much.